Hi, everybody. Hi. Welcome back. You know what pleases me? You know me well enough to know one of my favorite things in the world, clever wordplay.
Oh, wordplay. That sound. Do not Google that, folks.
Wordplay?
I just feel like Wordle will come up and then you'll be hooked.
Oh, God. Can we not? Okay, anyway. Wordplay, right. So love, absolutely. And yes, it's a shame that I don't have human children because I do have one of the world's best collections of dad jokes. Like, I'm there. I wear the cargo shorts with the New Balance tennis shoes on the weekends. Like, I'm
Skechers.
A total dad. Right. Get it. You know one of my least favorite things is?
People?
But no. No. Bad wordplay. And even more specifically than that, jargon.
Oh, jargon.
So I need to tell you this story.
Okay, I love a story.
I know you love a story.
Is it a story that involves jargon?
It is.
Ooh.
It is. So you know also that I have a deep love for strategic planning, and I teach strategic planning at the graduate level. Strategery.
You don't say.
I love a good plan. Love a good strategic planning session. So I was in a strategic planning session not too long ago, working with a number of organizations coming together, working on a key project. And of course, the topic of funding came up. And one of the key leads on this project, of course, gets up and says, do you see this coming?
I can see something coming, but it's kind of like a train, and I'm concerned.
Yeah, the first words out of their mouth are, we need to operationalize ideating on targeting the low-hanging fruit.
Oh, dear.
In other words.
Like kumquats?
Well, I mean, so like I have 1,000 thoughts that go through my head all at once, right? I got to thinking about what this person was saying and a very well, I won't say well known, but a very well respected, intelligent, right, strategist, low hanging fruit. And what they're saying is,
I can't stand that term.
Prospecting donors, finding donors. In other words, finding people who are already teed up because they love our mission and they love the work that we do.
Just hanging low.
Right. They're not
just seems creepy.
Well, we use an awful lot of jargon around
human beings who are generous.
Yes.
And that's unfortunate. I think that if donors walked around our shops and heard us talk about them the way we do.
Oh.
I mean, it's funny, the low-hanging fruit jargon. He said, ha, 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 ha. But like, oh, well, he only gives or I'm not inviting them. Last year, they were stingy. They gave $500, having no concept what that sacrifice was for our organizations.
Now, right. Now, anybody that's known me for half a minute, I beg your pardon, knows that I have a thing about the donor pyramid.
Oh, there's no such thing.
There is no such thing, and it was never true to begin with.
I've never seen one. I kind of feel like it's like Area 51.
But like we talk about, major gifts. Do people walk around going, I'm a major donor?
I know it's something that I put on my LinkedIn profile.
Oh, major donor?
And also my dating apps. Maybe if I put I'm low-hanging fruit,
I think
the men would come running.
There you go. Maybe so.
I shall try.
Maybe so, right? Or do people walk around going, I'm a low-end donor, right? And then my favorites, lie bunt and side bunt.
Oh, don't you be talking about my bunt.
Now, I get it. These words mean something.
Your hands off my bunt, sir.
Now, these words mean something, in the industry, in what we do. And in certain organizations, you can say lie bunt and everybody knows what you're talking about.
Soft ask. Excuse me. I'm just going to go over here and do a hard ask.
I've always said you were a hard ass.
Some of you get your heads out of the gutter.
Ask. Soft ask.
It's like what annual giving. Soft ask? Be very careful when you Google annual giving. Spell that right.
The annual fund is neither annual nor a fund. Discuss.
And spell it right when you Google it.
Hello. The first time I ever met Simone Joyeux,
bless her.
She grabbed me by the lapels. And if you don't know Simone.
You had lapels on?
I was at a conference. I had lapels on. I did not have a tie on, but she grabbed me by the lapels. because I went up to her and said something about the annual fund not being annual. She grabbed me by the lapels and we had a fabulous conversation, and she is greatly missed.
She was a spark, wasn't she?
She was a spark, and she was saying things.
Sassafras.
Yeah, exactly. Now there's a phrase though, CRQs, cage rattling questions.
Well, that's a good one.
That was Simone's phrase.
I like that better than KPI.
Oh, no, I love KPI, key performance indicators.
Oh, sorry.
Right. In other words, how do you define success? But this is it. Start saying what
with the
we
low
mean.
hanging fruit. That's how I define success. See, with some major donors and some special events, not mediocre ones.
Now, I do think we need terms so that we understand what we're talking about. Sure, but they get operationalized so frequently that they start to lose meaning.
Do you want to do a fun activity we should do sometime?
Tell me.
I mean, it's like, it would be fun. Go to a conference and ask a room full of 100 people, what's a major gift?
Oh, I mean, I share the statistic.
It's a drinking game.
I don't know what it is in higher ed or healthcare.
A lot.
But writ large, there's a writ large. I'm fancy.
Whoa. You must be married to an English instructor.
I am. Professor, thank you. What was I saying?
Writ large.
Writ large, the average major gift for nonprofits. I know what that is. And whenever I share that statistic, it is shocking to people on what, out of the 2 million nonprofits in the United States, what the average major gift is.
We could play like Family Feud on that, because I don't even know. I know
there are a number of different reports that list it as, but why don't we go have a snack first?
Oh, snack. Can I have a Klondike bar?
What would you do for a break right now? All right, we're back. How was your break, Lynn? You're still, yes, coming back from break. Fantastic. Wonderful. So when last we met our intrepid heroes, they were discussing the average major gift.
And we got there because we were talking about fundraising jargon, like low-hanging fruit, which we now realize that not all fruit hangs.
Correct.
Because I studied fruit for just a minute during the break.
The average major gift, the studies that I have seen, and there are a couple of them, on average for nonprofits, the average major gift is somewhere between $1,000 to $1,500.
According to the Google, not all fruits grow on trees. Some grow on vines on the ground, while others might grow on small plants or bushes. Facts, people.
Okay.
So not only is it jargon, it's inaccurate.
Well, the intent of low-hanging fruit is to say this is the fruit that's easiest to pick, it's the easiest to reach, etc. What we mean is humans with emotions who care about the mission.
And why do we refer to humans in such groups?
Why do we need to jargonize them?
Can't we just say, hey, look, these are introductory donors.
Sure.
These people support us and they're generous.
Yeah.
So I have a mini story, just a little.
Please. Yes. Yeah. No.
I was working with a client once, just once. That's I've only ever worked with once. And so they had another consultant, which is always fun when you got two consultants and the same clients. Sometimes it's awkward at best. And I said, you guys really need to work on your recurring giving program, because they were behind, and we know that recurring giving is one way to capture low-hanging fruit. Just kidding. And so the consultant decided to come up with a name for their recurring donors. She presented it at a meeting, and I had to like turn around and face the wall, because she said, we're going to call them, is everyone ready? Thoughtful givers. So I immediately, being the intrepid, gumption-filled, kind person that I am, shot my hand up in the air and said, so we call everybody else inconsiderate asses? Oops, I said a naughty. Leave that out, Julie. But how are you going to call a group of people thoughtful givers and the rest not thoughtful givers?
Well, again, it's like we've said a number of times on this podcast, special events, because as differentiated from our mediocre or sort of events.
So thoughtful givers and low-hanging fruit should hang out together.
I mean, and we could go through the list of jargon, I'm sure, for hours, right, of all the different phrases. And so I know we're going to say this at the end, but this, I'd love to hear from folks what jargon they use that just, sends them up a wall, or...
And especially jargon regarding how we talk about our donors, I would say, more than Clay and I, leverage and data driven and strategy. And what's my favorite one lately that one person is really high on? And that is synergy.
Oh, synergy.
Good Lord.
Pivot. Remember when we all went through the pivot?
I have pivot. My knees gave out from pivoting.
The only pivot I like is a pivot table.
That is a nerd.
That's an Excel joke.
Right there.
It was excellent.
I can't with the Excel jokes. Yeah. So, I mean, it's really.
So what are we getting at here, right?
What are we getting at is that donors are human beings. And not only are they human beings, but they're human beings who choose to be generous to us. All this to say, we shouldn't refer to people as that. And our punchline, our effort today is, what do you think about the way we talk about donors, and how does that make us feel? And how do we dehumanize them sometimes when we really should be bringing out their humanity, because they're the best of us. Those of us who are generous are the best of us. And, some of our jargon gets in the way of remembering that. So as always, we love it for when you share with us. So, we've done this whole episode talking about jargon for donors. Share with us at fundraisingisfunny.com. What's maybe the worst thing you've heard a donor called? Please be clean, because our mothers watch this and read it and all that good stuff. And what do you feel about jargon in our industry, and how do we go about rehumanizing and bringing the humanity back to the work that we do, and remembering that people choose to be generous and we should choose to be kind.
It's beautiful.
I know I get emotional sometimes. I'm so good at this.
You do.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's actually, it's good work, and I'm privileged and we're grateful to be doing part of it. And now I'm going to go figure out what fruit doesn't grow on trees and what does.
Pineapples.
Of course, pineapple's a bush.
Pineapples don't grow on trees.
No, I don't think cranberries grow on trees.
Cranberries grow in a bog.
You said the word bog, which reminds me of the word pog, which is pineapple, orange, guava juice.
And pineapples don't grow on trees.
Hello, Hawaii. I know I have friends there. I want to come visit soon. Yes. All right, Clay.
Yes.
Another episode, another day.
Another episode, another day.
Thanks, everybody, and have a great one.